like to let's play the Capo 2. Man, I feel like shit. Less physically wise and more just like mentally. I'm just like, been looking at the news too much these days, and it just freaking screws with my anxiety, and I just feel depressed and frustrated, and just I don't even know where to begin with that, and I don't see the point in going over that. Let's take our mind off it with some recording for the Capo 2, since it is the usual kind of thing, really. Like, either on the day that I upload the last bit of the recording, or the day after is when I record again, because, well, need to get some recording in. Although, it's the 31st, so it could be the first when I upload again for this one, but you get the idea. I record in advance for this. Well, I pretty much do that with all my LPs currently, except The Sims 2, oddly enough. That one's actually caught up completely at this point. But anyways, I imagine we're supposed to go here. Check. Well, it's kind of obvious. It's her route we're going for. Okay, see you. After we enjoyed our jam session, we decided to go home together. Wait, so it's still the same day? I remember now. Well, Toro lived in the opposite direction, so he butted ways first. So, if we had went any other way, would we have just like abandoned them? Just be like, I'm on my way home, or I'm on my way to town or something. See you. You're praising me too much. I'm sure it didn't have to be me. Any guitarist would have made it too, but it still made me feel happy. The Light Music Club? So suddenly? It didn't sound like a bad idea, but I shouldn't undertake such thoughtless endeavors. Well, I may think about it. Hey, you aren't a member of the Light Music Club either, Nanaka. Nanaka laughed joyfully. It's a pity that they don't have a guitarist. Maybe I'll show up every once in a while. But if you can play that well, you should perform at the Christmas party. I'm sure you can find another guitarist. It's like me, I like to sing, but as soon as people are around, it's like, I'm not singing. Just like, but you sing during these recordings? Yeah, that's because nobody is in the room with me as I'm recording. You may be right. Come to think of it, Nanaka didn't sing in her class's dinner show at the graduation party. What a waste, since they play so well. Nanaka grabbed my hand and smiled. Sure, I'd be happy to. You know, the stupid thing is, when I was like improvising over that in that one recording, I was like, man, that sounded like shit. And just like yesterday, I was just randomly picked up my guitar and just started playing it randomly improv, and I was like, why is it that whenever I'm recording, it sounds like shit, but when I'm like just improvising on the spot without any of that, it just sounds just fine. I'm just like, god damn it, why? We kept talking about our session until we partied, probably because we had so much fun playing together. And that, and the fact that I wasn't using an amp when I did that, just made it sound even worse. It was like, Ew, what a relaxing day. I read some manga as I laid on my bed. When I felt like eating something, I popped out a Japanese sweet and ate it. A sweet taste filled my mouth. This was heaven. I needed to spend a day relaxing like this every once in a while. Whatever else I did, getting rest was very important. No, with my current sleeping pattern, like it's friggin' 5:30 in the morning while I'm recording this. I woke up around about, I think, 1. It's just like, god damn it, why? My sleeping pattern as it is now just feels awkward. I mean, my regular sleeping pattern before that was kind of weird, but I preferred that. I'd wake up in the afternoon and then pretty much sleep in somewhere late into the night, pretty much. Or even the morning itself, just like, but you wouldn't get many hours sleep like that. Well, not like I really do anyway. Usually wake up in the late evening despite going to sleep in the evening. It's ridiculous. Whatever else I did, getting rest was very important, Harry said. I stretched. The clock showed it was a little past 5 p.m. Well, a.m. in my case, so about 12 hours off there. Maybe another hour or so. Yeah, I'll start making dinner around 6. I set my alarm clock and laid on my back, putting the finished manga volume next to my bed. Well, it's 25 to be precise. Then I closed my eyes to put myself into a relaxed frame of mind. Good night. My consciousness fell into darkness. It's so quiet, it's a scene we've seen before. It's been a while since we've had to use the old skip. Or has it? Probably not. Do skip. Why is it not moving? There we go. It's kind of stuck in place there. Let's see. Obviously, I imagine any time we get one of these, it's obviously gonna be her the entire time for it to be her out. But I'm just gonna check anyway. Let's see. Yep. Ah, it's cold, but what nice weather. That was a change. I thought he was like, in pain, but it's like, it's cold. While taking a walk, I strolled down Cherry Blossom Tree Line Street, though I don't know why he would be going, It was a beautiful day and there were a lot of people taking walks. We couldn't see any of them, though. I heard children's voices of everywhere and saw lots of couples walking by. Oh, there's a couple our age. I envy them, they're holding hands and obviously they're in love.
ラブラブだね。でもいいけど、俺は腕を組んでほしいな。
Hey.
で、こう軽く肘が相手のこの胸に当たったりなんかしちゃって。
Hello.
いやーんとか言われちゃったりして。彼女欲しい。
Stop that, oh great king of delusion. Go hug a tree over there. I'm sure that'll be your girlfriend. I slapped Wataru's forehead.
あいて、何すんだよ。
What do you mean, what was that for? What are you doing anyways?
多分、義行と同じ理由だよ。
Taking a walk too, huh? Yeah, we're so bored.
ここでイチャつくカップルを手ばがめしようと。
Hey, that's not what I'm here for.
違うのか。
Don't ask me what that with a straight face. I'm taking a walk. A walk.
なんだ、そうだったのか。暇だな。
I don't want a peeping Tom to tell me that. I decide to ignore this fool and continue with my walk.
あ、おい、どこ行くんだよ。
I'm going for a walk.
じゃあ付き合ってやるよ。
Why do I have to take a walk with another guy?
そういうシチュに燃える女子諸君もいるかもしれないぞ。
Huh?
なんでもない。ま、いいじゃねえか。ここで会ったのも何かの縁だ。で、どこを散歩するんだ？
Huh.
チョコバナナの露店が出てる。よしゆき買って。
I'm going to kill you.
お、俺白川だ。
Oh, what a surprise! I mean, her chippy was on this location. It's not like we were gonna encounter her. Well, actually, there was that one incident with Coco and she didn't end up being in the location. Huh? Maybe it's because you have to go through it each time, otherwise sometimes it won't be there or what. Nanaka was standing beneath the fluttering petals of a cherry tree. She had a troubled look on her face. There was a male student from our school standing in front of her. Man, this must be like a daily thing for her. What the hell? I can't get you to say yes. I think that every guy should just say, no, don't take interest in this girl. She's just not interested in anyone. Except the protagonist, inevitably, at some point. Otherwise, your chances are pretty much nothing. No chance. But you aren't planning to go around with anyone else, right? Then let's hang out around together at the Christmas party. I think you're... Another confession. She really is popular.
例によって例のごとく。
I guess so.
学校でも休みの日でも告られる白川って、なんだか不憫だよな。
That's how popular she is.
ごめんなさい。
Nanaka finished rejecting the guy as we talked. The guy walked off in despair.
これで何人振られたんだろう。
Who knows? According to Tsuganami, guys kept confessing to Nanaka one after another because the Christmas party was coming up. But she had yet to say yes to any of them. Even though it wasn't any of my business, it felt so wasteful.
吉行くんと板橋くん。
I think it might probably be like... I remember, I think she said that something about her being selfish or something in that one scene when they were going to visit Coco. There's clearly some backstory and a reason why she's reluctant to accept any guy's invitation to go to the Christmas party or something. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see in time. And I can notice this. Or maybe she's just waiting for the right guy to come around, aka the protagonist. She ran up to us while waving her hand. Yo.
うっす。何してるの？
Well, we were...
散歩してたら偶然前を通りかかって。
Nanaka realized something and turned red as a troubled smile crossed her face. This is the third time this has happened. Second time in this playthrough. Third time if you count the previous one that didn't even have an ending.
もしかして今の見てた？
She stuck her tongue out and shrugged her shoulders like a child whose mischief was exposed. It was an accident.
ああ、偶然偶然。
そっか。イベント前はいつもこうで参っちゃう。
Although it was coming from this popular girl, it didn't sound sarcastic at all. I bet she was so popular she doesn't know what to do. Why don't you ever accept, when the guys invite you?
そう言われてもな。
特に好きなやつがいないんならいいじゃん。遊びでも。
遊びか。
Nanaka folded her arms and pondered. She muttered that she didn't want it just for fun. So, you want true love?
それも勘弁。
なんで？
本気の恋愛って、どうなんだろう。私、できるのかな？
Huh?
なんでもない。
でもさ、こうして言い寄ってくる男をことごとく蹴り散らかしていく白川もかっこいいけどな。
How is that cool?
気安く声をかけないでちょうだいみたいな。
Lag.
それ、かっこいいかな？
Nanaka laughed a little. I just don't understand her. Isn't she interested in love? Aren't you interested in love, Nanaka?
いや、ないわけじゃないんだけど、 いうか信頼というか安全というか
Trust, safety.
いろいろあるんだこれが
There's clearly quite a bit to your character, and I haven't quite read it yet. Since this is like, I've like no knowledge of like his characters and like their backstory and all that. So I don't know. So I'm just kind of like trying to figure it out as we go, and I'm just like, I can't quite figure you out yet. I'm starting to like get like some kind of hint that there's something about you that you probably regret in the past or something that is preventing you from getting over it. Something is clearly there. Nanaka left and dodged the subject, and then next thing you know, she's like, oh, it's not that at all. Well, if she has no intention of being in love, then there's no use flirting with her.
それじゃあ私今から友達に会いに行くから
I bet she'd like probably fall for a guy that's like doesn't show interest in her probably. I don't know. Like a guy that doesn't like approach her, just like kind of like the protagonist obviously. Protagonist like isn't like showing interest in her like outright or anything, like confessing or anything like that. He's just kind of just being pretty chill with her and all that. I don't know. Naga waved at us as she spoke. We saw her off.
もったいない
Eh?
あれだけ可愛いのになーって思ってさ
That's true. It sure is a waste that she doesn't want to be in love.
俺がもし白川だったら
You don't need to say any more.
でもして絶対して男してそんでもって
Jesus Christ, man, you... Why? Well, Taru-kun, those words are prohibited to broadcast. Besides, they are truly sickening. Honestly, stop that.
そんでもって世の中のしてそうやって世間を渡っていくんだ
His eyes. But with Taru-kun, from what I'm interpreting from this, you'd probably die from various STDs. See ya. I moved to a different spot, leaving Wataru, who was consumed by his ambitions if I became a girl. So, like a lot of guys, like if they became a girl suddenly, they probably would just be like curious about shit like that, but if you go out and just like screw everyone, it's just like, dude, you're pretty much going to freaking catch a lot of shit from that. It's just like, don't do that, man. Let's see here, is this the correct location? Yes, obviously. Is it yet another
ま
one?
たね
It was Nanaka. She was waving her hand in the direction of the hospital. Was someone she knows in the hospital? Hey, wait, we have seen her here before. Maybe there is. Maybe there's something to do with the hospital.
おお吉明くん
Who are you waving at?
見てた
Yeah.
うんちょっと
You said you were meeting with a friend. Is she staying here?
うん実はそうなんだ
This is a hospital. That means it's either a patient or a nurse.
小さな女の子なのちょっとしたきっかけでお友達になったんだけどすっごく可愛いんだよ本島から出てきてここに入院してるんだって
Wow, all the way from the main island.
うん
I didn't know the details, but Nanaka seemed to be extremely concerned about this girl. She wasn't acting as energetically as she usually did. She kept sadly looking at the hospital window.
早く良くなってほしいな
I don't really understand the situation, but yeah. It's too sad to see a little kid being hospitalized.
だよねでもねその子はすっごく明るくて何にでも興味を持っちゃうんだよお父さんもおかしな人で私がお見舞いに行くたびに逆に元気をもらって帰ってくるくらい
That's great.
でしょ
Nanaka laughed joyfully. She seemed to really like this girl. I never met her, but I hope she'd get well soon. Yeah, that should do it. I turned the stove off for a moment. The smell of curry filled the room. You bastard, I'm hungry now. I just need to let it sit for about an hour. I washed my hands and headed to the living room. Give me the curry, you son of a
お
bitch!
腹すいた。
Is that always the first thing out of your mouth?
私もお腹すいたな。
It's earlier than our normal dinner time, isn't it? The clock said it was a little past 6.
だって美味しそうな匂いがするんだもん。そうだよね。カレーなんて作る弟くんが悪い。
Indeed, the smell of curry was mouth-watering. You need to wait for another hour. But that's torture! Curry tastes better after sitting for a while.
いや、そんなに変わんないって。食べたい時に食べるのが一番美味しいんです。
We have no way of restraining ourselves when food is in the vicinity. We must eat it.
だね。
I calculated the time so I could serve you the best curry.
大丈夫だよ。弟くんの料理はいつ食べても美味しいから。
She spoke with such a cheerful smile. Okay, I understand. I'll get it ready right away. As I headed to the kitchen, the doorbell
誰
rang.
か来たみたいだよ。
Is it gonna be the curry instant, like, all over again pretty much, only it's going to involve our characters instead, because we picked the haunted house instead, so Anzu and all that. Or maybe they will be them. Or maybe it'll be like Nanaka and someone else. I don't know. Yeah, who could it be at this time of day? Otherwise, wouldn't this be a skippable scene because we'd seen it before? But it doesn't seem to be the case. I turned around and headed to the front door. Yes, who is it? I opened the front door.
やっほー。
Called
よ
it.
しゆきくん。
Nanaka.
そうだよ。よしゆきくんに会いに来ちゃった。
You sure it isn't for the curry? Where did you learn about the curry? She smiled as she tightly held my hands. No, where did Anzu and Co learn about the curry anyway? They just kind of came over at like the perfect time to get curry. I felt a soft and warm sensation. This unexpected visit by our academy's idol made my heart pound quickly.
もう、何言ってるのよ、ナナカ。
Coco cannot resist the curry, regardless of what route it is. Because, well, to be fair, she does, like, have the band route like Nanaka does. I'm still unsure how those routes will work out. Well, obviously, I imagine they'll form a band at some point and probably perform at the Christmas party. That's my prediction. But the actual character, like, route itself, I'm not sure. Coco picked that from Nanaka's side.
よしゆきもデレデレしない。
What were Nanaka and Coco doing here? Well, they're inseparable. Well, not really, but... You can't just have one character turn up. They want your curry, man. I couldn't recall promising them
うん、
anything.
うん、約束とかしてないよ。ちょっとよしゆきくんちに用事ができたから。
We've come to raid the curry. Did I say something?
そんな顔してた。もしかして約束してたかなって考えてる顔。よしゆき、すぐ顔に出るからね。
I see.
それで、用事ってのは、
Of course. I was just thinking that. It's just like, okay, so in the previous one that this scene happened, you had 3 characters show up. You had Coco, Anzu, and Akane. Akane was there because her and Anzu are pretty much almost inseparable, like this pretty much. Always has to have the two there regardless of it. And since it's not gonna be either of their routes possible for this point, so they bring along a character whose route isn't possible, along with 2 characters that routes are possible. Although Akane, on the other hand, actually doesn't have a route in this I don't think. Nanaka moved away and Amikaze appeared.
これを夢に。
She shoved a book at me.
それじゃ、
You didn't come for the curry? Amikaze turned around, but I just know it. He'll smell that curry in his black. Could we have some of that? Wait a minute.
ん
What do you want me to do with this?
は
What's that sigh for?
あ、まさか、わざわざ全部説明しないといけないとは。さすがは。
And she looked at me with a mocking look. How annoying.
その本を夢に返しておいてくれ。感謝の言葉と一緒にな。
Then why don't you return it yourself? It's almost dinner time, so she's home.
夕食
Oh no, you've said
もし
it!
かして、吉行が作った
Nanaka and Coco had overheard me and responded in kind. Yeah, I did.
そういえば、美味しそうな匂いがするね。吉行の作るご飯、美味しいんだよね。
The two peered in. It's only curry.
わあ、カレー、吉行カレーだ。吉行のカレーって凝っててすごく美味しいんだよ。お腹すいたな。吉行くん。カレーか。うん。カレーは嫌いじゃない。
Unless you put bananas in it for some ungodly reason. As they said whatever they wished to say, 3 pairs of eyes stared at me.
うーん。
And then you slammed the door. Boy, what am I going to do with them? Well, I made plenty of extra curry, so it should be enough. It'd be funny if they gave you the option to just slam the door in their face or something. It's like, denied. Do you understand, eat? Although, if they did have like an option to just slam the door in their face, they'd probably end up getting the curry anyway, just like for comedic kind of purposes.
悪いね。なんか催促したみたいで。
Now, that's the reason we are actually here, really. The curry, the book was an excuse.
カレーは嫌いじゃない。
It really was. I mean, sure they didn't know about the curry this time, and maybe they didn't the previous time now that I think about it. But it's always gotta be about the curry in the end. The 3 of them enter the house. Oh, I wonder if we have enough for rice. As I thought that, I headed to the kitchen.
美味しい。だよね。私、吉行のカレー大好き。でしょ？だって私の弟くんが作ったんだから。
Otane held up her head proudly. I don't know why, but she was smiling happily.
おかわり。
Wait, are you still eating? Isn't this your 4th serving?
カレーは嫌いじゃない。
With grains of rice stuck around her mouth, she held out her plate. Well, asking for more made me happy as a cook.
桜井が作ったってのがちょっと引っかかるけどな。
Then why don't you stop eating? She always had to say something sarcastic.
カレーに火はないからな。うん、天風さん、たくさん食べてくださいね。ああ、そういえば、夢はご飯を作ったりしないのか？今日は私の当番じゃありませんので。
Not her turn, huh?
何ですか、兄さん、その目は。
Is she a bad cook? Oh, nothing. I was just wondering when your turn is. Or maybe she's just really, really lazy. So it'd be kind of like me, really. I can cook if I really, actually tried. But I'm lazy. It's just if you had your turn on, then I would be so relieved.
今に見てなさいよ。みなつは夢の料理も食べてみたいと思うぞ。あ、うん。そのうち作るから食べに来てくださいね。あ、楽しみにしてる。
Amikaze nodded meekly. She's a robot, right? So we know that she runs on bananas for some reason, in some form. But Why would she need to eat? Coco, who knows about Yume's cooking skills, had a polite look on her face while sitting next to her.
ねえ、おかわりはまだか桜井。
Okay, okay. I took the plate and headed to the kitchen. I was planning to have curry at least for a few days, but there went my plan. There was only enough curry left in the pot for one more serving.
この薄くて四角い物体はなんだ？ん？これはテレビですよ。バカな！
Amikaze was overly surprised.
テレビってこんな薄いのが？はい。
Amikaze walked around the TV curiously. She tried to find a power switch with her finger, but pulled back. This was interesting, as if I was watching a puppy that faced something unusual.
天笠さんってなんか変わってるね。テレビにびっくりしたり。
Well, she moved here from an undeveloped country, so she's curious about everything. Do they even have, like, those big-ass TVs anymore? Like, it's always like flat-screen kind of TVs nowadays. In fact, I've got one myself. And I remember, like, used to have those big-ass TVs, but that was years ago.
へえ、みなつちゃんって外国から来たんだ。でも普通に日本語喋れるんだね。
Sure, because she's Japanese. Nanaka grabbed the remote and with the press of a button, the TV screen flashed on with an idol singing a pop song.
本当に映った。まあテレビですから。こんな技術がこの薄さで。
Amikaze was stunned by the idol singing on TV in front of her. She was mumbling something, but for her to be surprised that much with a TV of this size, how long was she asleep in that cave? I'm extremely curious now. How come she hasn't come across a TV like that yet?
ごちそうさま。とっても美味しかったよ。ごちそうさまでした。ごちそうになった。
I went outside to see the three girls off. Oh, ugh. It was completely dark. The cold winter air was much colder without the sun.
ずいぶん長居しちゃったね。
It was only a little past 9, but I didn't think it was safe for the girls to walk home alone at night. Maybe I should walk someone home.
天笠さんは高台の向こう側だったっけ？桜公園前のバス停からバスに乗る。
Coco and Nanaka lived near the shopping district. That meant Amikaze would be alone until she got to the bus stop. Nanaka and Coco would be together, but they had to walk down a street with almost no foot traffic, so that worried me. But I had to help Yume clean up after dinner too. Our numbers had increased to 6 all of a sudden. What should I do? So I imagine just like saying, screw you guys, you go walk home on your own, be like for Yume's route, which we can't currently do because you have to clear either Nanaka's or Coco's routes, and then you've got to clear at least Amikaze or Han's route, and then you unlock the sister's route, and then you can do yes. Well, we gotta take Nanaka and Coco home.